All right. Welcome to Make HOAG Money. Let's get down to business here. A CFTC disclaimer. There's a lot of risk involved in trading. We all know that. We should only be using risk capital, money we can afford to lose. Hypothetical and simulated performance does have certain limitations. There is no expectation for past or future performance here. We're not suggesting buying or selling of anything that we're doing here. At least I'm not. You guys are. This is my account. So you guys are going to be offering opportunities for me to make money. But again, there's no expectation of performance here. We're here to learn. Everything we do is about learning. Here you go, Serenity Trader. There's the webinar link. You can either watch it on YouTube or you can join us in our Zoom meeting and have the opportunity to vote for trades that we're thinking about taking. The rules for Make HOAG Money are quite simple. We do expect kindness and respect above everything. There's always differences of opinion in markets. It's what makes them so good. We're going to have 5 people. Well, we're going to have a couple of people enabled to talk if they want to. There's no, we're not going to force anybody to do anything that they don't want to, but we're all going to be involved in the decisions. Anything you're thinking about doing as far as taking a trade, context is, of course, going to be helpful. You will be able to share your charts and everything. We're going to use the chat room to discuss these trades. We're going to use the polling system in Zoom to vote on them. We're going to be focusing on the E-mini S&Ps. We're not going to trade just to trade. Of course, we aren't allowed to take losing trades, which, of course, is impossible. We know that there are going to be losses in trading. We just have to accept them. And of course, feedback on Make HOAG Money is going to be vital. Here is our platform. Here is what we are looking at. Usually we'll vote to see if we're going to be taking the opening range trade, thinking about where we are in yesterday's range, inside value. Not too far off of our center of the range from yesterday. Do we look to take the opening range trade? I am going to send the poll to do so. Do we take it or do we not? We got to remember we're only going to be risking 5 or 6 points on that if we do decide to take it. Personally, I'm thinking we're going to have to try and stay very patient this morning to find decent opportunities. I am looking for anybody that would like to speak today and to talk about their opportunities, the things that they're seeing in the markets. Again, there's no pressure to do so, of course. We can just take a look and watch and see how things go. And, if there's ways that we can kind of discuss these ideas and take these ideas and opportunities through the group, the chat room. So we'll take a look at that. We've got a 64% saying, yeah, let's skip the opening range trade today. So we're good with that. Here's the poll for those of you on YouTube, so you can see we've got 64% saying no, 36% saying yes. We'll stop sharing. And we will go see what we've got. Joe, you're talking about Anne Marie, and Anne Marie lives in Naples, Florida. I know that she's okay. I would imagine she's having some difficulties as far as electricity and internet. I've seen her tweeting on Twitter a little bit. But again, we're just hoping that everything is good for her and everybody else in Florida. Of course, we pray that there's a quick recovery and rebuilding down there, of course. So don't see her here. I'm going to send her an email later on and let her know we're all thinking about her, and I'm sure she'll come back and join us when she can. So Vince is looking for a potential for a long around 37.68, kind of the low of the range from overnight. The point of control from the volume point of control from yesterday. looking to take out and kind of fill in some of these anomalies and teeth and missing teeth here. Well, it's kind of tricky because these are not technically TPOs, but they're sticking out, or not technically anomalies, but they're kind of sticking out. We got some here, we got a missing teeth here, we got a missing tooth here. Whoops, don't want to do that. So it's just that there's a lot of holes, a lot of things that don't seem to jive in a smooth profile. I'm thinking that because of the amount of them yesterday, that the yesterday ended up not being a very confident day. And we're right in the middle of it. So, again, trying to suggest staying cool and, being patient, I think is going to be a good thing. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, Ryan. Vince, good morning. John D. John Doherty is with me. How you doing, JD? Nice to see you.
Thanks, Hoag.
Now I got Lacey barking. How are things?
Oh, things are going great here.
Good. See anything you like here?
I'm just observing like everybody else right now. I've got a couple different platforms up. I'm looking at TradingView and Tradeovate.
Okay.
4-hour chart. We've got a 10-period moving average right here at 37.80.
Here's the 4-hour chart.
I was also looking at the VWAP overnight in the ES. I have that up at 37.87, which it kind of bounced right off of. I like trades where you, when you start coming around the VWAP, let it go 5, 6, 7 handles beyond, and then maybe put a low risk fade in. Sometimes those trades hit.
Like this one did right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is VWAP on this platform with the GNOME VWAP. It's coming in at 37.89 or 37.90.
Okay.
So yeah, we got a little bit above it. We came back down below it, and now we're heading the other direction.
So I would say if we keep getting some
Awesome, Ben. Go ahead.
Oh, I like the 37.55 to 60 level, either to exit or trade, or maybe look for a cheap long too.
Now that was where again? I'm sorry.
55 to 60.
55 to 60. Kind of.
Yeah, those are the two levels I'll be keeping an eye on today.
Yeah, last week's high.
Yeah.
I think. Right?
Right around. That was right around 45, I think. 50.
Yeah. Just making sure I did put it on there. So right now, I mean, I think we're right to be patient, right? Now we got Vince thinking about a long at 37.86. I'm sorry, 37.68. Up against last night's low. Got a high volume node there. Okay, the market is now open. Let's see if we've got an opening range. Just to watch it. 3.5 points. We're expecting it to be kind of small. $6 points now. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Michael. Lukash. Lukash, I hope you were able to connect with your friend in your new friend, I should say, in Poland after the group session yesterday. And there it is, breaking out to the upside. We are not taking it. We've decided that. Here we are on the profiles. Half back from yesterday is the low, pretty close. And we are off and running and not in any big hurry. Dan is saying he thinks it's going to be a balanced day, but test 3,800 again. Makes sense to me. Where's value high? 3801 from yesterday's session. Kind of liking that idea because we got up here and we rejected up here. We did spend some time in the overnight. We were unable to take out the high. We do have a weak high in the overnight session. That's a little bit unnerving. Internals are mixed with no conviction. I think the best thing we can do is to just be patient. We'll look for some sort of reference in the early range. And we'll see what Ben has to say when he comes back. He says he's got some ideas. We got a pretty decent opening range trade off of that, but again, I don't think it's very likely that it's going to be the extreme of the session. Brother Rick is a little busy this morning. He would certainly be here if he could be. Huh, Bob, no news really, just the usual nuclear war and the like. This seems so strange, this earth, this world we're in right now. It reminds me of a John Prine song. It's a big old goofy world. Back to settlement. Here we are. So, Bob, he was definitely a prophet. I miss him too. Hey, Lise. Easy, girl. Easy. Why don't you go back on the forbidden couch? Yes, Lacey agrees too, right? Alright. Ben did email me some of his thoughts this morning, but I think they'll sound better coming from Ben when he gets back. He said he had to step away for a few minutes. Vince, noticing we are rallying on negative delta. That can be an indication of longer time frame buyers. Good eye. My guy. Yeah, negative 2100 to 2200. Bit of a delta divergence here, ladies and gentlemen. Thinking maybe there's an opportunity here. We're going to see if we want to find some sort of a pullback and see if we can get into a long here with that delta divergence. Do we want it? We're gonna discuss risk on this because the low volume node here might be supportive. So if we can get in here around 37.90, we can risk 3 points. This is frozen. There we go. So we've got a mandate, 85% yes. So we're going to see if we can buy a 90. See if we get this. And then we're going to be looking the other side of this volume, this other kind of high volume node down to here. So we're looking at 87 for risk. So close to getting filled on this. There, now we're in. And we're out. Well, still seeing some pretty aggressive selling here. Maybe we'll look for better trade location at a lower level. Yeah, that was pretty quick, right? Okay, we got half back. Still some pretty negative delta here, and it's against direction. I still like the idea to use this delta divergence as an opportunity for us. It either works or it doesn't, right, Daniel? $37.84. Yeah, we're missing it. Just came and got us. We lost about 1,000 in negative delta here already. Seems as though we've got some longer time frame buyers possible here. We can't believe we screwed that up. Well, it's all right. It happens. It happens. Just picked the wrong volume node. Could be we just had a little too little risk on that. I was, really looking for that low volume node right here to hold. It didn't. Lukash still in the trade. Nice job, Lukash. Much more reasonable risk. Yeah, I'm always a fan of small losses. Zach got long at 91. I was thinking about trying to do that, but again, I got to vote. Taking out all of the negative delta here. Back to zero. So this was an area we were kind of looking at up here, 3804, 3800 as an area for a potential short. I'm going to just take it and put a little bit of risk on it. This is kind of where we extended and failed. This is the area we started that at. Again, I'm not real big on this idea because we have a weak high in the overnight and it's relatively close, kind of a weak high at the high here. We're starting to stack up negative delta again here. Right. Yeah. Overnight high is about the same as yesterday's high, and it's a weak high. So not really liking the idea of being short. I like that idea, Ryan, is trying to find a pullback to try and get long. Because we're going to get stopped out on this. There's me and my big ideas. We still have to remember our opening range is the low of the session. We should only be looking for longs in that case. So we got Steve saying don't short till 38.19 quarter. One tick below the high of the overnight session. Eh, 620 on step one and 2 trades. Should I stop the day? I don't know. I would say it's a good day. If something comes to you and you want to take it, how much are you going to risk? How much of that 620 are you going to risk before calling it a day? Would you risk 50% of it? If you have another winning trade, that buys you another winning trade. So you're going to risk 200 on it. Point of control, overnight point of control here. Put in the high. Well, what's our next move? A lot of day left. Long at 98. Delta's back to 0. So I'm usually the same way. If I just sit and wait, something comes to me eventually. What the heck? Somebody with a chainsaw right out my window here. Ben buying value area high if it gets there. Where is value area high on yours? Oh, 1/2. Right here. So, all right, Ben, let's give it a try. How long are we in this for, Ben? Do you want to talk, Ben? You're on. Here you are. How are you, Ben?
I've got overnight value area high at 3,800 quarter, so I just went on one lot at the value area high, and if it was going to come down dramatically, I wanted to average in a little lower, so I got filled there.
Hey, everything all right?
Okay, I got the second one in, so I'm looking to take one
Okay.
off it, you know.
Yeah, I'm in Make HOAG Money.
I'm out.
They were all looking for
Didn't
you.
work so good.
Okay, we're out. Oh, I know. Don't worry about it. Okay. All right. Let me call you back in a little bit. Okay. Bye. Just talked to my brother. He said to say hello. So we're right back to the center of the range. We're going to be patient. Ben, how are things? What's going on?
Pretty good. I shorted earlier. I had a good start, but I just gave a bunch of it back. So, yeah, just got to reset here for a minute.
Yeah.
Temptation would be like, oh, go long here, but I think I need to pause a minute myself.
Okay. Yeah, we've been just getting run over too. It happens. Okay, now look at the negative delta we're at again now. Minus 4,000.
So I'm looking for, kind of my style, just trying to take some bites because I wouldn't want to be able to call directional here.
Mm-hmm.
Too choppy. The base what you were talking about, they're waiting for numbers tomorrow. It just seems odds are high today that we might poke above yesterday's range high or low, but it does seem like the day that it's it's going to be a lot of balancing and maybe choppiness and games being played and all that.
Yeah. waiting for the market to set up the initial balance and work those extremes.
Mm-hmm.
Nice job, Stephen. Stephen, why we got to get you in here to talk one of these days? You're trading really well today, right? Well, NASDAQ, forget about it. Ryan, isn't that always the story? If you don't take it off, it's going to be a loss. Seems right. Okay, we keep piling in negative delta, and then it gets taken out when the market turns in the opposite direction. It does seem like there is a snake in the woodpile here, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like there's some sort of adjustment being made in longer time frame. You wouldn't know it, Stephen, but yeah, I mean, my feel is because I've been in the S&Ps for so long, I tend to get a feel for it. You know, last week I think we were down $100 in micros at the end of HOAG Money, and you know I made that all back for us after HOAG Money. So, I still think you know if Elvis is in the room, if there's certainly a snake in the woodpile, we're looking for opportunities to look for a long. See, that's what we're talking about, Ron. We're seeing negative delta against the direction of the market. That's sometimes block orders, ice orders, longer time frame buyers just soaking up whatever the short time frame weaker hands traders will sell them. That's how we get that delta divergence. Is you got longer time frame traders just placing bids, shorter time frame traders using market orders to hit those bids, creates the negative delta, and then you get the short time frame traders too short, and they bail, and then the longer time frame brings their bids up higher, and they churn and burn all day long that way if they want to or if they have to. You guys hear that buzz saw outside my window here?
I can't hear it.
Good. See, there we go. We pile in a bunch of negative delta, and then the short time frame traders figure it out, and they run it the other way. Let's see if we do it again. We're down. We're negative 1,000 now.
Yeah, I shorted the value area high and got stopped.
Negative 11. Amin, what is the delta that you are mentioning? Delta is, in futures, it's the total number of contracts that trade on the offer. So you would be lifting an offer using a buy market order as positive delta, and minus the number that trade on the bid, which is market order selling, which is negative delta. So we see right down here, minus 2,000. That's 2,000 more contracts that have traded on the bid versus the offer. Now, you could make the assumption, that The more aggressive traders are the sellers and should be moving price lower with that aggressive selling because they're using market orders to basically try and evaporate bids. But if the opposite occurs, if you have negative delta and price continues to try and push higher, that can be an indication of longer time frame buyers just placing bids, soaking up whatever the short time frame market order hitting sellers will give them, and they end up getting the short time frame, our direct competitors, too short, and then the market, then they bail and they jump out and they push the market higher. Now, if there's longer time frame buyers all day long, they're just going to end up getting the short time frame traders shorter and shorter throughout the session, and sometimes that's when we'll create a late spike to the upside at the end of the day if the short time frame traders are still too short at the end of the day. But right now in short time frame, we've seen 2 or 3 opportunities to look for longs when we pile up a whole bunch of negative delta. We had negative delta here. We got stopped out on a potential long. We had another opportunity, I think, up here. Well, about halfway back on the last one, we piled up a bunch of negative delta here. We couldn't push price lower. We ripped to the upside when the short time frame traders figured it out. Now we're getting more negative delta here, negative 37, 3600. If Elvis is still in the building, the same thing is going to happen. It's going to bring the short time frame traders to a position where they're too short and figure out it's not going to go any further, and then they'll rip the market to the upside. So we're at 3,500 negative delta. I'm going to take a bet here, and I'm going to say we're starting to get the short time frame traders too short. If the buyers, the longer time frame buyers, are still in the market, we shouldn't be able to push price much lower than this, which of course is going to because we took a long. But we're starting to get pretty deep in negative delta here. And if the buyers are still here, eventually the short time frame traders are going to figure it out and they're going to go the other direction. You're going to get a pop to the upside. Now, these short time frame traders, this negative delta can eventually at some point win. It's not always going to be the longer time frame traders that win this game. And if the longer time frame buyers finish what they have to do, then they'll just leave the building, and then it'll leave the short time frame traders to do what they're going to do. So now we're down 4,000 negative delta. We've got weekly kickoff low here, 37.83, which is kind of the top of the opening range. See, our sellers are really aggressive right now. We've got negative 4,200. We're still holding above the opening range. Now, this can be absolutely wrong. Next TPO. Back to the opening range. You see what we're doing here? Repair, 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 repair.
Got a lot of anomalies in the overnight.
Yeah. And yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
we got negative 7,000 delta now. This one doesn't work. I'm going to have a lot of work to do at the end of after the make HOAG money to make the money back. And that's it. Now buy it. Negative $9,000 in delta. Short time frame sellers are winning right now, and this was in essence hypothesis number one for me was to go and repair all of these anomalies from yesterday, all of these toothy areas. See, now we're starting to see some of the delta get eaten up. Short against the ledge. 37.80. Vince, repair all the way down to the 37.47. Could happen. Why not? Why not?
I sent you my trade plans for today, but they're all kind of trade later except for the one dealing with the value area high. And I took that and I did some other stuff and got chopped out because I went away from my plan. So there's nothing really to share about that for a while because the value area low is quite a ways away yet.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Rick today?
He's busy. He's got some things going on. I did talk to him. He says to say hello to everybody. I told him everybody was missing him. Josh, right now this Make HOAG Money is on Tuesdays and Thursdays right after the market forecast. We start about 8:20. I've been working on adding 2 more sessions during the week to catch the closes on Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm running into some scheduling issues. I'm still working on doing that, but we're going to be doing this 4 days a week. The indicator name is NAM. I'm sorry, Tiki, T-I-K-I, cumulative delta line. So you'll find that here in Explorer Community Indicators. Scroll down to it and then load it. Yeah, sellers are aggressive. But we're still only some negative 7,000. You're kind of running into some two-sided stuff here, I think. They're actually thinking about looking for a potential long here near the overnight low, if given the opportunity. You're welcome, Josh. Glad you're here. Hope you're enjoying it. We're not doing too well today, but it's all right. That's trading. What was it on Tuesday? We were down about $100. I made that all back by the end of the day for us. See if I can do it again today. Steven saying maybe profit taking after those 2 good days. Maybe tomorrow will set a longer term sentiment. Very well might. So what do we think? Do we think about taking a long against the current low? It seems like we're trying to pick a bottom here, but we're still in range. We're still in value. Let's see what we think. I'm thinking about a long against the overnight low. Ryan's still talking about pull back up at 37.80 on this high volume node here. All right, so we're at 63% looking at potential long somewhere here before the low of the overnight session. Do we want to think about taking that 37.80 short here, suggested by Ryan? Let's take a look. So right now it's 1 for yes to look for a short at 37.80 if given the opportunity. Joe D, that book map level 75, is that sellers? Dan is asking what's a market profile anomaly. Want to take it, Ben? We're at 69% for a short up here at 780, as well as about the same for a long down here against the overnight low. So go ahead, Dan. Go ahead, Ben.
What price were you looking?
Well, what's an anomaly is what the question is in profiles.
I do like 66 aggressive or 60.
Oh, for the long?
Moderate, yeah. Or, will it take out the overnight low? I don't know, but...
Yeah, that's what we're shooting for.
I'm looking at the volume distribution for the entire contract, and it really tapers off at 67. And so that's why I was looking at like 66, because it's just above a low volume node.
We're long at 68.25.
Okay.
So an anomaly, Dan, is anything that doesn't fit, anything that sticks out, anything that's an eyesore. So in looking at like the overnight, this little TPO sticking out right there would be considered an anomaly because it just doesn't seem to fit. Now, yesterday, I think in the profile from yesterday, there's several anomalies, little layovers that stick out and leave teeth sticking out and missing teeth. Kind of like this here, I think, is a bit of an anomaly because it's like a missing tooth here. But typically, You know, an anomaly is usually like one TPO sticking out like here. One little TPO sticking out and doesn't seem to fit. And confident markets don't leave necessarily anomalies. So looking at this profile yesterday, while it was two-sided and there was a lot going on there, it doesn't look like it was a very confident day. So when we see anomalies, they're visual levels that price tends to go to. When you think about traders, you know, in markets are very visual. If there's something that doesn't seem to fit, it's probably going to get revisited. So we're seeing that happen today. We opened here. We traded up to this anomaly. We looked a little higher. We're now trading back down to check all of these anomalies. We just got stopped out. You got it, Daniel. So now we've looked below the overnight. We're back inside the range. This is a trade that I will take most of the time. So you get the look outside the overnight low, and the return back to range. Sometimes this will give you a pretty decent opportunity. So we're trying it. It's probably not going to work. I'm having really lousy luck today, but that's trading. I'll see if I can make the money back after make HOAG money. So if we do end up holding on to this, and it does end up going our way, 37.80 I think is a pretty reasonable profit target where we were actually looking for shorts. So that's a little better than 2-to-1 reward over risk. If we're still in this at the end of Make HOAG Money, we'll see if we can't get that. Make some of our dough back. Ben, what do you think of adding 2 more sessions in the evening to catch the closes? So Monday and Tuesday we'd be 2 to 3.
Oh, I think that's fantastic, and I'm also hoping that the morning ones move out past, just like if it's possible to start at 9:30 Central, like
after the first. Yeah, right.
It'll just give us so much more information, and so many things will have shaken out. I think it's demoralizing for us to get, we come in and we're here to trade,
Right.
And that's the idea of having the session, and so we do it. But it's not always in our best interest because it's, in range and value, and the ES is just
crapshoot.
Real fast, real good, or lucky.
Right.
It's just very choppy, and I just think it would serve the purpose of the group a lot better to have a little more information in both of those sessions.
I think that's a good idea. When I finally get this all figured out, maybe we'll do 1 on the open and 1 at 9:30, and then 2 at 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock through the week.
Yeah, that's a great middle ground there. It'll be interesting over time to see how the one after the initial balance fares compared to the one. That'll be a great.
I'm going with my expectation will be better.
It'll be a great object lesson, I guess, what's called, for all of us as traders. Because I really have a problem with that. Like, I can, I make these pre-market things, and I'm like, be patient, wait,
Mm-hmm.
and then once things open, that just goes out the window for me so often. I think it's just the love of the game. I don't know what it is, but I really I need to make more of an effort, more consistently, to just wait. Those opportunities will be there all day, and I'm thinking I've got to start climbing the mountain right now. I got to gain some ground right now.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And
look at the market's moving. I got to do something.
Yeah, and then when I don't, it kind of shoots me for the rest of the day. You know, it just lowers my confidence, or, you know, hit my limits, or, you know, worse. You know, so it's a patience thing is one of the later things to master, I think, as a trader. At least for me, it has been.
Well, we finally got one that didn't get stopped out within 10 seconds. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think we're going to maybe, well, at least one of the morning sessions wait till after the IB. I think it's lending itself to having to take trades when we do it this early, instead of waiting for the good ones. Yep, Shaw, why am I taking this trade? Or is this in my best interest? Is this in my best interest? All right, so we're just going to let this play out as it is. If we have some losses, I'll see if I can't make some of them back for us throughout the day. Instead of, what the heck did I just do that? Right, no kidding, Shaw. No kidding. All right. Well, we'll see how this plays out. Looks like we may get a good one done, at least under our belt here today. So trade well, everybody. No recap today. It's the podcast, so look forward to seeing everybody there, and seeing everybody tomorrow morning on the forecast. Trade well the rest of the day. Hope you trade better than I did, or we did here today, and make HOAG money, but that's all right. You know, I'll make it back for us, maybe. We'll see. And there's always next week. Trade well, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Thanks for all of your participation, folks.